Hello and welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, your number one source for real-time updates, insider insights, and all the major developments shaping Iraq's financial future. Today, family, we've got a massive report, seriously, one of the biggest stories we've covered in a long time. And this headline is blowing up everywhere. A CBI insider is now claiming that a brand new dinar rate is coming in 2026. Tied directly to the historic deletion of the zeros reform. This is not a drill. This is not a rumor. This is being described as a structured, coordinated plan moving forward inside Iraq's central bank. According to this insider, the progress inside the CBI is not slow or uncertain anymore. They described it as accelerating, meaning the steps toward reform are happening faster than before. The source claims that the Central Bank of Iraq and the Parliamentary Finance Committee are actively working together, aligning the reform with the 2026 fiscal year, not randomly, not vaguely, but intentionally. For years we've heard the phrase study, discussion, preparation. But what we're hearing today changes the tone completely. It suggests that the planning phase is mostly done, and Iraq is entering the execution phase. And the biggest question everyone asks is, why 2026? Why that exact year? Well, here's where everything gets interesting. 2026 is not just a local government target. It is a year that lines up perfectly with the end of multiple international programs that Iraq has been part of, especially the World Bank's 2022 to 2026 Country Partnership Framework. This program is all about transitioning Iraq away from the unstable rentier oil model and building a diversified, modern economy. And according to this insider, the central bank wants the currency reform to launch the moment that framework ends, when the international community officially signs off on Iraq's progress. Now let's talk about the heart of this reform, the deletion of the zeros. If you're new here, this means Iraq will introduce a new currency where, for example, one new dinar equals 1,000 old dinar. This redenomination is designed to clean up the currency, simplify daily transactions, and restore psychological confidence in the dinar. Instead of walking around with stacks of inflated banknotes, Iraqis would be using small, modern denominations like every stable country in the world. But here's the key. This reform isn't about magically making everyone rich overnight. It's the foundation for building a stronger currency later. It's step 1. And to reach step 1, Iraq had to fix the biggest weakness in its system, the rentier economy. For decades, Iraq has relied almost entirely on oil revenue, which made the currency unstable and unpredictable. When oil prices crashed, the entire country's budget collapsed with it. Because of this volatility, global financial institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and the U.S. Treasury would never approve a major currency shift. They needed proof, real, measurable proof that Iraq could build a balanced economy. And now, according to economists and this insider, those conditions are finally being met. Let's break down the global players for a moment. The IMF has been conducting deep financial evaluations of Iraq for years, pushing for structural reforms, transparency, anti-corruption measures, and proper management of public funds. And their latest assessments confirm that Iraq is improving in these areas. The World Bank has been rebuilding roads, energy infrastructure, private sector opportunities, and governance systems to modernize the country. And of course the U.S. Treasury has been pushing Iraq to clean up its banking sector, eliminate illegal dollar flows, and move toward digital transparency. All three of these institutions have enormous influence over international currency policy. Now here's where everything comes together. Dr. Jabara, a respected Iraqi economist, just published a major article titled "The Iraqi Dinar Without Zeros." In that article, he openly states that Iraq is ready to launch this historic reform. He says that deleting the zeros is not just another idea, is the final step of the entire economic transformation Iraq has been working toward. He argues that this reform will finally restore trust in the dinar, encourage citizens to deposit cash into banks, and free the country from its old inflation-driven mindset. His analysis matches perfectly with what the insider is saying. According To the insider, the central bank's internal plan is straightforward. Start the 2026 fiscal year with a new rate, created through this redenomination. This timeline is consistent. It matches the World Bank's framework. It follows the IMF's guidelines. It aligns with the U.S. Treasury's compliance structure. And it mirrors the predictions of economic experts. For the first time, everything seems to be pointing to the same target. And here's what makes this story so powerful. This is the first time we are hearing a timeline that isn't vague. Not soon, not in the coming period, not under study, but a specific fiscal year with a specific mechanism, the deletion of the zeros. This is the most organized, structured, and realistic sequence we've ever seen. It shows that Iraq may finally be ready to break away from the old system that held it back for decades when you combine diversification projects like the development road, the expansion of agriculture and industry, the digital banking transformation, the crackdown on corruption, and the restructuring of the banking sector. It becomes clear that Iraq is building a new economic identity, and the currency reform is the capstone. Once the new notes come out and the old inflated numbers disappear, the central bank will have a cleaner, more stable currency system, which allows them to gradually adjust the rate upward based on real economic strength. So what does all this mean for the community watching this unfold? It means that after years of uncertainty, years of conflicting news, years of waiting, we finally have a timeline that makes sense, a path that is consistent, and a reform that is supported by insiders, economists, and global institutions all at once. 2026 may truly be the year Iraq begins its monetary reset and brings in the new dinar rate the world has been waiting for. Stay locked in, stay informed, and as always, thank you for being part of the Iraqi Dinar News family. Big things are coming.